Guys, we're back with the second episode of our intake. The last episode we took off the old one. If you didn't see that video, go check it out. And today we'll be installing the new MAPerformance intake. Let's get started. So our first step is to take off the old sensor. They're safety Torx. They'll have them at any of your local auto parts stores. And so we're going to get this off and we're going to put it onto the new one. Throughout, you're going to want to be very careful with it. It's just 2 screws and you slide it right out. The new intake comes with the screws to put it back on. And so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to put it onto the new intake. So the sensor should just slide right in there. It only fits one way. And it should line up with the pre-existing holes on the intake. The next step is to then take these little screws and screw them in there with an Allen wrench. The sensor is securely on there with the 3 millimeter Allen wrench. What we're going to want to do is, of course, put it all together, which I already did. It comes with the filter, the adapter, a clamp for the adapter. So the adapter just slides into the filter and then you clamp it onto the pipe. And then there's this rubber piece and then 2 clamps. So that connects the filter to the pipe. And then the next step is over here, there's another rubber piece which I already bolted or clamped onto the car. So I'm just gonna slide that in there and then put the other clamp on there so it's all in there. And then actually I think what we're gonna do is plug the airflow sensor back into this and then clamp this down, and then we're gonna bolt it in. Should be pretty straightforward. I'll come back if there's any complications. Okay, so I've run into a little issue. There's a secondary intake hose right here that has nowhere to go. I don't think it does anything. I looked on the forums. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna tuck it around here so that way we can get the filter on and in there with without it intruding into the space. The next step, I have to clamp that down so it's tight. And then if we look back in here, there's a right in there, there's a bracket that we have to bolt down to the OEM bolt clamp thing. And then it should be installed. I realize that it's probably smart to first get it bolted in first before we clamp that down. That way we can adjust it to however we need. But the issue I'm running into is there's not enough room to get a socket or anything down there to get the bolt tight. So I'm trying to find a work around that, and I'll be back once I figure it out. All right, so we figured out the bolt. We basically finger tightened it in there. We had to take the cover for the battery off, and that way it gave us more space. And I took the filter off too, and then was able to fit my fingers in there and tighten it down with my fingers, and then took a pair of pliers. It'd be easier if you had a 10 millimeter wrench. That way you could fit it in there and tighten it down, but did the best with what I had. And then I'll probably go back and tighten it later. Then I slide the filter back on, clamped that down, and then once that was bolted in, I was able to clamp that down, and now it's all in there securely. What I read about the secondary intake hose, it's fine to just leave it dangling. I don't know how smoggy it's gonna work, but we'll figure that out when it comes. For now, I think this is done, and that's how we installed the intake. Guys, stay tuned for more GTI Mk6 projects. And make sure you check out the previous video on how to take off the old intake before this one, because you can't do that without taking it off. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and yeah, peace.